Okay. So I'm recording it. So my thought, you guys, for today was actually just to, this is my idea, is to go through in a linear way and stick in right now, whether or not they're like definitive or not, stick in all of our community, like our specific community ideas and where they would fall in the timeline, and then like, you know, who we would need to staff that kind of. So does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
All right. So I think that how come, hey, why won't my cursor go where it's supposed to go? Come on now. What's happening? Stop it. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think one of the things that we said, sorry, I just said what the fuck on camera.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna eat. It will bother you.
It will not bother us. Okay, my cursor's having a hard time getting into here. I'm not sure why. I don't know if someone else's cursor is in there. That shouldn't matter. Okay, here's my cursor. Okay, so the first thing that we talked about, Marshawn, I remember you saying this, and I also said it, is that when people arrive at the conference, boy, that's some big writing there.
Yes.
Oh, why is it?
I love that idea.
Okay, so you're saying when people arrive at the conference, we have a table set up to greet, answer questions, provide a map of the space, right?
Yes, love it. I think it makes a big difference in hospitality.
It does. You know, and you got to think of people that this is their first time being there. They probably only know maybe the organizers, so they're not probably familiar with a bunch of people, even if they've heard some of the celebrity names like Lynn and Molly. You know,
funny man.
They've probably not met you all in person, but I think that's a really personable touch to be able to have us greet them, you know, especially as the conference committee, for them to greet the people. And I think once we, you know, just kind of confirm who all is going to be participate in the conference, I think we should all probably do something like this as well, where we maybe have a, you know, a meet and greet kind of call, if it's doable, that we can just kind of say, hey, yeah, and so hi, this is the conference committee, and we'll be, you know, we'll be waiting for you when you check in, because we'll have everybody's arrival time. We have all of that. So I think it just keeps, you know, that personal touch to it, that I think is the through line of the conference, that we should be just genuine hospitality, just common courtesy, just, you know, allowing for the space to be nurturing and helping people. And I think those kind of things are lasting things that people will want to come back to the conference, and they'll spread the conference word of mouth to say, hey, I had such a great time. I can't wait until next year, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
So Marshawn, backing up just a little bit, you said something about a phone call. Who were you thinking the phone call would be with?
And that's just an option, but
are you thinking with the participants?
No, not with the participants, because that's going to be too many people. I'm saying definitely with the faculty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do pre-conference.
Yeah, a pre-conference call maybe.
Okay.
Because if anything should happen that, you know, one or two members or whatever can't be part of the greeters for, let's just say, you know, somebody is familiar. Let's just say I don't know, somebody is going to be coming in and giving a presentation at the conference, and they've only been talking to Molly, you know, but this particular when this person shows up, Molly was busy with some other stuff. So at least they'll kind of know who's the board committee and have just have an understanding that, oh, okay, cool.
Okay. So yeah, exactly. So I put in here that we could have a conference call with the faculty, but then I also think it might be nice for us to set up a closed Facebook page. So as people register, we give them the access to that closed Facebook page. Yet they have to request access, and then we confirm it. And then that way we can post things, and we can post that we're excited, and people can post about rooming and all that kind of stuff. So that's another.
Cool. That's
yeah,
great.
Molly, I think that's even better than the. I think that's probably better than the conference call. I think because that's that gives you, people can kind of just chat with you there, and maybe we can expand that a little bit to just kind of see what that does. But I think that's far better maybe than the conference call.
Or maybe both, but okay. So those we like those two things for something pre-conference, a way to connect with faculty, and also a way for registrants to start to talk to each other and get excited. Then people arrive at the conference. I'm thinking, since the pre-conferences start on Friday morning, then we would need someone like a greeting table on Thursday evening and on Friday morning, right? But then there probably also would be Friday afternoon, because then you're going to have people that are coming for the conference in the afternoon, right? So we probably need like 2 people each time.
Great.
Right? Okay.
Where they bag up to the people with a third person optional as in case anything happens. At least we have a +1 backup.
Got it.
That's
okay. Cool. All right.
And will you pick this table down near where people first arrive at Omega, where they check in?
Yeah, I think it's got to be someplace where, well, because if I've never been to Omega before, or maybe we have that's a good point, Lynn, because there's 2 different places. Like the first time I was ever there, I went to like the welcome space, like right there on campus, right? But then ever after, I knew that you go down to that other building. Either way,
oh, right.
Nobody, in all the time I've been there, and I'm a pretty uptight person. Like, I could imagine myself being like, screw this, I'm going home. Like, people are so, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Oh, where, oh, there's your. So I think probably we need them at both spots, actually.
Yeah.
I
think. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Marsan.
No, I was going to just saying that, we'll have faculty arrive. We'll have the times for, we should have arrival times for faculty showing up.
Marshawn, I'm thinking it's way more important for the registrants than the faculty.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, it's important for faculty too, but I feel like faculty already have this kind of like, I'm faculty, I belong here. Whereas it's the registrants who are like, I've never been here before. So I think it has to be for both.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But like say for the people arriving, I think if we can really work with guest services to just kind of, because I don't know how much time we want to take up in shifts to be there to just kind of greet people, so I think that's another thing that we could probably work with guest services. Maybe they'll give us one of their little radios or something, and they can they can call us. They can just call us and say, hey, we have guest such and such, and
I don't think so, Marshawn. Just with all due respect, I don't think it's about them calling someone and we come down there. I think it's about someone drives into campus and someone is right there. That we're like, hey, hi, what's your name? Oh, I've got you right here. Here's a map. Welcome. Have you ever been here before? So, I see this as being fun and a way that we can utilize our advisory committee. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
I definitely, yeah.
a 2-hour shift of us just sitting and shooting the shit. Like if it's me and Lynn shooting the shit for 2 hours, I don't care. You know, and then
Totally.
periodically, you know, greeting someone. But I think I think someone needs to be there. Like that's what makes
Yeah, I
it feel different.
definitely agree with that. Yeah, I do agree, but I was saying like for people that arrive late or, you know, for all of these are things that I think need to be covered is what I'm basically saying is like we need to have a contingency plan for to just kind of cover the day so that, you know, we can try to capture um, just about all and maybe only miss a few people if, you know.
Yeah. This is good. It's good.
Okay.
And we can do the details of exactly who and where, but this is the general idea that I think is a huge step in the right direction. Yeah.
And I'm thinking also because we only have a half hour left, maybe what would be best is for us to do a first pass through that's really like this,
Love
this,
it.
this, this, and then
Love
we
it.
can go and fill in some of the deets.
Yes.
Because so okay, so they're coming there Tuesday night, Friday morning, blah blah blah, whatever. Pre-conference intensive. Marshawn, I loved your idea. One person is stationed at each door specifically to greet. Right? So that's what we were talking about, that it's not just like
Exactly.
it's not your, you know, you have the people from the, God, why wasn't I to do this? It won't let me move my cursor. Anyway, so it's not just that we have like the AD or the
That's
person
why
from
they
like,
call it a cursor.
but yeah, but there's someone at each one, and so you're welcoming, going, oh hey, you're here from our Sean and Lynn thing. That's great. Welcome. Yeah, come on in. There's a back jack, you know, that kind of thing, and it's at every door.
Awesome.
Every door. Or not a board member, advising member. Okay.
Love
One
it.
person. Okay, great. So again, and we're just thinking about the
Friday night out community. So that whole session.
Now we had talked
What's that?
about some stuff regarding meals. And I don't think we need to decide on this right now, but I've heard from many people now that mealtime at Omega is very stressful. That you're like, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to sit. I'm not sure, can I sit with these people or those other people? That, you know, faculty all sits in little cliques. So we had talked about just some ideas for that people could utilize for meals. So would it be okay if we jotted those down right now?
Yeah, great. Sure.
Okay. So we had asked for a silent table. We had asked for faculty to split up a bit. Faculty and board. Oh, that must be your cursor in there now, Marshawn. I don't know. I can't move in here. I guess we can't be writing at the same time.
Are you writing, Marshawn?
I was. We're not. What's happening here?
Oh, Molly, you write when you write, I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
only one person can write at a time. So I wanted to say for faculty, why won't this do that? Faculty, board, advisors, please break up at table. We had also had the idea, it seems like you wanted to put something in there, Marshawn. I can write it in there for you.
Yeah, I was going to just make a note so that I didn't slip my mind. I was going to just say having a table identifier, just a table identifier to let people know what tables or where, you know, where they can sit, because what I wouldn't want is to probably be mandated to sit. For us that have been coming, I think we enjoy the arrivals of people that we know, and sometimes this is a time where we have some of our, you know, sidebar conversations, or, you know, it's just a time to maybe say some things that you probably wouldn't say around just anybody that you didn't know, but just, you know, just kind of some of the kick it kind of fun that I know we've had at these meals. But I think having some type of identifier where, hey, in general, people know where they can sit. But I think also too, what may help with that is that if I believe that the conference committee and the board should definitely have on, we should definitely have some type, no matter where we are. If we're out and about, going about our way, and that's one other thing. I think that everybody should have a name tag because it's hard keeping up with people's names, and so I think it just adds a more personal touch. When I went to the BITA conference, they gave us all name tags, and I thought it really, really helped to just kind of remember people's names, because of course a lot of people could remember Marshawn, but I couldn't remember their names.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to just kind of have the name tags.
And I love it. We don't have to get into this now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have thoughts about name tags for another time.
Okay, then can you say that again?
I have thoughts about details about the name another time. Like, how you can make it so the first name is very big and visible.
Yeah.
But we don't have to deal with those details now.
Okay, but that's great. And I'll share this. And Marshawn, it's only, you guys should absolutely write on this, but it's only that only one person can write at a time. But once this is shared, then yeah, go ahead and we'll put in more details. But what I just put in up here at the top again, thanks Marshawn, all board and advisors should wear name tags at all times that say something like, need help, ask me. And then all registrants should have name tags including where they're from or some other thing. And then Lynn, that's also where you could put in some details. To your point about the meal smart, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those should be color. Go ahead, Molly. No, go ahead, Molly.
So then we were done at meals. I think we would have one silent table. We wanted to ask faculty, board, and advisors to break up at the table. When faculty or others need to meet separately, please just make those really clear meetings. Like that if you need to meet with someone, then just make a meeting with them. Make a time. Or sit at a separate table. So we'll always have tables, I would imagine, that are like free tables. But I like the idea of doing something like, sorry, someone's selling something. I'll wait until they go by. Okay. Oh, you need a new mattress? I know where you can get one. It's funny, I live in this tiny, tiny rural dusty town that anything you could possibly want comes driving down the street at some point because people don't have cars to go anywhere, so everything comes here. But I like the idea of having there be some sort of table identifiers, and it's an ill-formed idea, but somehow that we could have on, maybe like when people are walking in, maybe they're walking into the dining hall and they just—
It's cutting out. Did you lose it? We lost you.
Did you? Hello?
It's cutting out a lot.
We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that.
That's okay. We can most of the time. I can most of the time.
Okay. Well, I would say maybe just for, I think the recording will be perfect. I think the recording doesn't cut out, if I'm correct. So maybe I should just go ahead.
Yeah, I can still hear you. We can hear you most of the time.
Okay.
Can you, Marshawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just once in a while.
I'm thinking about having also some designated tables, and maybe we could do something like the colors of the chakras or something. And then when people are walking into the dining hall, we have like a bowl of like chips or something, and then you just pull one. So if you pull a green one, then you just go to the green table, right? But you don't have to, or you don't have to pull a chip. If you're like, I just want to go to whatever table I want to go to, then you do that. But if you're a person like I can sometimes feel, or a person who, I've heard other people say that you're like walking around like you're in, elementary school with your tray. Where should I sit? This way, I just pull the chip and I go to that table. So what do you guys think about an idea like that?
And if so, Molly, maybe we can tie that into different faculty and advisors who take turns being willing to cover those tables to welcome people.
Yeah, great.
That's why I was saying that's why I was saying about the table identifier, so that we would be mindful of, if we seen someone sitting at the table. Let me back up just a little bit. So initially what I saw was us having color-coded IDs or color-coded name tags.
Yeah.
And so let's just say that the board was blue, and then the advisors was yellow, and conference committee was one other color, right? So now, and then the participants or whatever, they were white or green. When we see them sitting at the table that's marked, and we see someone sitting there by themselves, then it should be on all of us to just kind of go up and check to make sure that they're all right, because we could be coming into the dining room at different times. We could be coming in at different times. Sometimes the classes or whatever overlaps, or sometimes people are busy with other stuff. But
right.
And people may not want to feel like they're babysat. They just want to know where to go to. So if there's a table identifier, then they can just sit at that table. But if they had any questions or anything like that, they can just kind of clearly look around the room and say, "Hey, where's those blue and green or whatever color name tags? If I have a question, I can ask them that." And those are things that they can be made aware of once we meet them initially. Once we meet them at the meet and greet table, just say, "Hey, these different color codes represent this. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask any of these people, that you identify with these colors on. You're more than welcome to ask them. They won't mind. They won't be bothered." And I think that'll be a good way to simplify it.
So let's talk more about that, let's talk more about that. Sounds like we're on the same page about some kind of table identifier. And I think for me, and then I want to move on from this.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. What I'm talking about specifically, Marshawn, is in terms of community, is the feeling of people walking in and being like, I don't know who I should sit with, and then having to be like, and I don't have a specific.
Just lost you. You lost her, Marshawn?
We lost Marshawn, or we lost me?
Lost again.
I'm just going to keep going because I can't tell what's happening.
Yeah. We can hear you sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So I think those were the main things for the meal. Then we have the Friday night, goals and connections. So this is something that we'll be doing. So we'll have to talk way more about what this is going to look like.
Yes, okay. We can hear you again. Yeah, and that whole all about community, right?
Yeah. And then Saturday, we had the practice sessions, but we'll do the same thing where a person's out front of the practice session. Right? So where's that? So there's a person greeting at each one of the sessions, the practice sessions in the morning and at the rest of it. Then what else? Possibility. Okay, we have Rolf. That's happening. Breakout, optional practices. Okay, and then we were up to the event, evening event, music, connection, food. We still don't know exactly what's happening in this, but we did talk about, I think we're probably going to go no alcohol. So I think we can get rid of this. I think what we want to do is talk about some of the things on that Saturday night session. Like maybe we can spend a little bit of time brainstorming what could be ways that are like mix and mingle type things that people don't have to do, but they're fun if they want to do. Like they're there.
Yeah.
Or ways that people can talk to people at, that would normally be different, like organizations and whatnot. Maybe this is also where we have poster sessions. So let's just do some brainstorming.
Just wondering whether this took the place of, that's when we used to do poster sessions, Saturday night?
Yeah. So we can just brainstorm right now.
Yes. And if we do, I think we want to encourage like interactive things, right? Or like stations where even if there are poster sessions or other things that are interactive, almost like a fair, right? Like a place where, like a carnival or a fair where you're going around and doing some kind of movement or either game or meet and play a little something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people could get creative with some of that.
I also love the idea that we came up with last year. It was like a spur of the moment, but this idea of like speed dating, where you get people that are like, and only people who want to do it, right? But it's just fun. And so we just like line people up and we have like a question and then they talk to the person for 1 minute and then they go down and they talk to the next person for 1 minute like that. So that they're talking to a whole bunch of people, right? Or that could even be the way that all the people who have like organizations do it, right? So I just like move all the way down the table. I don't know. I love the idea. It seems like it would have to be fleshed out. I would totally do it. And I think other people would too. And again, it would be this thing that was happening over there. And if you're like, I'm not into that, that makes me feel uncomfortable, then you all right.
Yeah. Do something higher. Yeah. Optional. Yeah.
We had another idea. Let me go back to here. Community staff, sorry, hang on. Ask faculty to spread out, poster sessions, reminder to reserve tables. Oh, the other thing we had talked about is like having question prompts. So that might be something that we could think about too for at meals, where there's like a question prompt on the table. And so people can completely ignore the question prompt, or they can be like, oh, this is a conversation starter. Like there's a question prompt on the table.
Yes, or maybe during the fair, graffiti wall. Something artsy would be good too, to create something even together somehow, you know? Some kind of communal artwork on Saturday night.
Oh, how about something with like giant long, like butcher, like a big banner or something. So we have like giant long butcher.
Yeah.
And people all work on it together.
Maybe like puzzle pieces where we, somehow, some big puzzle where we have, I don't know. I think some kind of puzzles fitting together and we all have our piece in it. We could figure something out. Yeah, art or puzzle.
Okay, I love that, because that could be another thing that we just have there that night that people can join into if they want to. So basically what we're getting is as many possibilities as we can for people to be able to like actually connect and meet other people.
Yes.
Where nobody's like the boss, nobody's like the one telling, no one's the expert. Everyone's just doing something together.
And there are a lot of options according to your personality.
Yeah. And I'd also say, who has skills?
Yes.
Henna tattoo.
Yes.
Massage.
Yes.
Why is this doing this? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Top
crazy.
yoga, demo, like whatever. So things that could be, people are like, ooh, I want to sign up and get a 5-minute Thai yoga, you know, and I'd say, I could say, I'll do that for a half hour, and that's all.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I want to throw one more thing. We often have, we call it like yoga on the go when we're having a big health fair, and I just do like partner poses that people just wander by and just showing them different, you know, partner poses.
Can you say it again? I didn't hear that, Lynn.
Yeah, I partner poses where it would be like a kind of yoga on the go where if people want to play around with different partner poses. I wanted to mention that as a general theme, if we do want an option, I don't know that it would be one of the optional practices, but at least here, if not somewhere else, any partner or acro stuff, I'd be happy.
So I think that we should put that down on the bottom, Lynn, and we're almost running out of time. Let's put down other things that could be impromptu things that would happen like out on the lawn, you know, just happen.
Oh, yeah, good.
But that we let people know, like, that this is happening if you want to do it. Like, there's going to be opera from 1 to 2 on the lawn. There's going to be your time. There's going to be, you know, whatever.
Good.
We could have definitely something by the lake. You guys seem to never get down by the lake. Well, I know Lynn has been down there a number of times.
Marshawn and I go for a kayak.
Yeah, but you know, like say, just getting everybody involved to, you know, to whatever we can do. I think, and one year I went hiking with a lady. We got lost, but it was good fun, even though we got lost. But just kind of exploring everything that we can. I like the little pop-up sessions throughout the day, maybe.
That's great. Yeah, a hiking group where somebody leads, and if you want to meet new people and go hiking, just meet here, just for one of those hours before dinner.
Yeah, so let's just look at other ideas. The thing that I realize is not on here are these like community focus groups, and I don't remember when those were going to happen, so I'll put them in there.
I think on Sunday. Weren't they, Molly, on Sunday?
Yeah.
I think they were going to be on Sunday, yeah?
At this part right here. Okay.
We had talked about, do we have 2 keynotes on Saturday morning? We had talked about putting them on Saturday morning. Where did we, yeah, where's that Saturday morning? There it is. So are we doing 2 keynotes in a row for sure? Because that's one of the places we had talked about doing community.
No, we're not. So yeah. So we'll look back at that. That's
okay.
Wrong. That's wrong. Okay. So last, am I on the right? Yeah. Okay. So let's in this our last 5 minutes. Let's just put the other ideas. So this is one of the things I think that you're saying, Marshawn, is utilize as many of the spaces at Omega as possible, i.e. the lake.
Yes.
Pop up.
And we should definitely have a candlelight yoga session. You know, that big field, I think it's Cabin by the Lake or somewhere over there. Hey, I'm gonna call.
Whoa.
I think we should really use something like that. It's different. It's I think it would be huge to have something like that. And even if not candles, those glow in the dark bracelets and stuff like that.
That would be amazing. Glow in the dark yoga, and we all have bands on our wrists and necks Yeah.
My question is their impact on the earth.
Oh yeah,
The
good.
the candles or the glow in the dark?
Yeah, they're probably crap.
Huh?
I think
Which
maybe
one's
those
the candle?
No, the little glow in the dark wristlet and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
they're probably crap for the earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, candle. I mean,
But
I'm sure there's some.
we could do tons of those like reusable candles, and then people can like take them home and still, use them
Right.
again.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
When would you envision that being? I mean, it's not really a lot of time.
What's up?
When would you imagine that being?
I couldn't hear that question, Molly.
When would you imagine having a candlelight
I
yoga
lost
class?
you. Oh, there you are.
Not getting anything, Molly. Even your video is frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen again, Molly. Yeah, we can't hear now, Molly.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you again. Oh, hey. Hey, Marcel.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Molly, we hear you.
I think that happens sometimes when we're screen sharing. But I was just saying, when would you see a candlelight yoga class happening? I love the idea, but I can't imagine when it would be.
Well, one possibility. I'm sorry, Marcel, it was your idea. You want to go first?
Go ahead, Lynn. No.
Depending on how late we have our fair on Saturday evening, it could be kind of a late night option. Whatever time, like 9, 9:30, even 10. Some of us are late nighters. I think some people can do that. Friday night. So obviously one of the 2 evenings. So it would have to be either late Friday night or at the end of the fair. Probably more likely at the end of the fair.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like we have some really great things to work with, and we can show to Jasmine and Jen. I think those are really some of the little detail-y things that we wanted to start making sure we had actually written out, because they all seem so tiny, that any one of them could get lost. But I feel like all of them together, the aggregate, is going to be just what we keep saying, is this feeling of community. And
Totally.
people will come back to this conference if it's really fun. So if they get lots of info, they'll come, hopefully they'll come back. But you have a lot of conferences to choose from,
Yeah.
and we want people to come to ours because it has the information, but also because it is really, like, we do everything we can to make people feel welcome and give opportunities for people to connect.
Yes,
so I think
love it.
that's a really good first pass. I think the next steps would be, it is not pressing, but for us to start to write up what that first evening is going to look like between the 3 of us, and how, what are all the things we sort of need to get in there, all the ways we need to include people. And then for you guys to start thinking about your breakout session, but getting really, really clear on what it is. And I think that is where we're not yet. And I don't think it's going to be well attended. Or I don't think it's going to be as good if we don't nail down, like, we're talking about this community. We're not talking about like world community. So whatever it is, we got to figure out what is that breakout about.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe you and Marshawn just want to start talking about that, and then send me a couple of your ideas. Like, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be the content, but what specifically is that workshop about, and why would I go to it?
Yes. What percentage, do you have any idea, either of you have, what percentage of the participants are yoga teachers or people who lead yoga groups? Do we have a clue?
I have no
Because
idea.
one of the questions is whether our session is specifically for when you're leading yoga or teaching yoga, or when you're in a group setting, what are some of the ways that we foster community or not, you know? But I was trying to figure out.
But I think you could expand that, Lynn, and then I'll say this, and then I gotta go. But I don't think you have to worry about that, because I think the best practices would be that it's how do you build community with the people that you're sitting with right now.
Sure.
So it really doesn't matter. Are you a yoga teacher? Are you teaching Spanish? Are you like community organizing? Are you on the
Right.
You know, that's what I would see if I got booted off like that workshop. But that's what I would want, is how can we, and also then how can we use our practice to get better at being community stewards?
Yes. Love it.
Awesome. Okay. So I would ask for that for your guys' action item, is for you two to get together and, well, to look at this thing that we made, fill in any other little detail blanks you think need to be filled in, and then for you to get together and see if you can hone in on one or two, you know, hopefully one, but one or two things like, this is what our workshop's going to be about, and this is why people would take it. And then you can fill the content in later.
Yes.
Does that sound good, Marshawn, too?
It does. Yes, it does.
And is this everything? I know you have to go. Everything that we did today is this community through line, and this is part of what Jen is trying to convey to Lulu, and we might have somebody pick up on what he's doing. I think one other thing we pulled apart, those community groups or something. Is this still part of like trying to develop those distinct jobs? I missed, I think I missed a little bit. No.
I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, Lynn, but are you saying, is this part of what, when Jen was saying she wanted someone to manage the community through line?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose this would be a part of it, just because that's part of what we're doing is offering an outline and suggestions for that. So, yeah. So I would say just go ahead, and if you have other things, when we finish this call, you can go into the Google Doc, add in anything else. You guys have an action item, and I'm realizing as long as you're doing that, why don't we make an action item for that I'll be included in too. So you guys will have the action item of what exactly is that breakout going to be. But then the three of us will have the action item of what exactly, two things. What has to get said that first night?
Yes.
And two, what specifically is the feeling we want people to come away with?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, and I have some ideas for first session with all of us. I'm excited to do all of that with you.
Great. Okay. So, and then I'll put out a thing for now. So, Lynn, so are you saying that Wednesdays we have to start all over with the Doodle calendar? I got confused as to what happened. Like, I don't know when we're meeting.
I'm good at this time on Wednesdays.
Okay, great. So I'm going to put that out to everybody, if this could be our time on Wednesdays every other week.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Bye, you guys. Super excited to work with you.
You.
Bye-bye.